Hello everyone, welcome to Beyond IIT. Today I wanted to talk about my career journey and share tactics that worked for me and helped me achieve success without an IIT degree. I hope that at the end of this presentation, you will have actionable takeaways to make your career journey follow the trajectory that you want, for you to be able to find success whether you got into an IIT or not. I believe that there are many lessons in my journey that will be useful for you. So, if you look at my career journey, I'm about 45 years old. I was born and brought up in Delhi, and I spent most of my life in India. But I had a really useful stint in the US, which allowed me to get the credentials I needed to open the doors that were closed for me because I went into a very bad engineering college in 1998. I went to Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, and it was, I believe, the worst engineering college in India at that time. Maybe they have improved now. And I thought that a severe injustice had been done to me, that I did not deserve to be there. What I realized that actually, I realized that many of my classmates felt the same way. There were people who had dropped 2 years to try for an IIT entrance and they didn't make it through JE at that time. There were people who tried for a year, and then there were people who had a better PCM than I did, or better marks in physics, chemistry, and maths than I did, who were also in this horrible college. The college was horrible because teachers didn't know how to teach. The college was being built when we were studying there. I think it would have been much better for me to go to a college in Bangalore, but I couldn't change any of that. And I realized that I should now spend the time to build the credentials that will help me get to success. And instead of just blaming my circumstances and getting depressed, which many students do when they get into bad colleges, I should probably stay positive. And I'd speak out cur- some of those personality traits that helped me be successful, in addition to just the core skills that I gained. So, to finish my bachelor's or to actually become a good engineer, I decided to pursue a master's from the US in my third year in engineering college. So, I spent time preparing for the GRE exams, the TOEFL exams, and I was fortunate to get into University of Texas at Austin, which was one of the top 10 engineering schools at that time. I pursued a master's in electrical and computer engineering with a minor in music and a major in acoustics. I was really into audio and I wanted to get a job in audio technologies. And that made me stand apart from all the other people who were pursuing their masters in just standard computer science or standard software programming type of master's degrees where uh, they didn't really demonstrate a passion towards any discipline. They just wanted to be core software engineers, and perhaps they were really interested in software, but it wasn't clear to me as their classmates that they were. So that differentiation got me an internship at Nemesis Music Technologies. It was a startup that built the first software synthesizer. And that internship helped me pay for my master's entirely. I also was a teaching assistant. I helped record orchestras. I taught Hindi at University of Texas. And all those things helped me pay for my master's, so I didn't have to take a loan, and that was a big relief for me. And post Nemesis, because of my experience at Nemesis, I got an offer from Dolby Labs in San Francisco, and I worked there for many years. I then got married in 2002, and my wife and I wanted to spend a year away traveling and seeing the world, which we did from the US. And then moved back to India because we wanted to be closer to our families and we wanted to be successful in India. I really felt that if I didn't move back and did not try to be successful in India, I will regret that. And I'm really happy I did. I was able to be there for my family when they needed me, and I also was able to have my children grow up with their grandparents. And there isn't a concrete value you can attach to that, but that was really important for both me and my wife, and I'm glad we did that. I was lucky to get into Adobe as a program manager. I interviewed for a developer position after returning from the US. I didn't get that job. But luckily, I did well in my interviews that they considered me for a project management role. And once I was in, I tried to make myself indispensable. I was doing a lot more than typical program managers. I built a customer advocacy board. I got uh, engineers to meet customers. I learned a lot of Adobe products. I used a lot of Adobe products. I had domain expertise, but I still couldn't figure out how to move from project management to product management, because product management jobs at that time were reserved kind of for people from IIMs, and I didn't have an MBA. So I decided to pursue a part-time MBA from IIM Lucknow, which I call my fake MBA. And I didn't get through the first time I tried to first time I took that entrance exam. I had to take it again. Actually, no, I got through the entrance exam, but I didn't make it through the interview process, and I think I did badly in the group discussion round. But I tried again next year, and that in 2009 I did get through, and I started my part-time MBA, and I think it was a great decision. I was too confident about all the things that I knew. I thought I knew everything before I started an MBA. And after my MBA, I realized how little I knew about how the world really worked and how companies really worked. So I was a real eye opener for me. And it also allowed me to play to my strengths, which are communication, connection, and working with people. And I was able to translate my relationships at Adobe and my credentials from an IIM, even though they were a part-time course, which is much, much easier to get into than a full-time course, into a uh, into a product management role. And then again, I believe I'm good at what I do, and I was able to then grow into a senior product manager role, then a director of product management, and now I'm a senior director of product management. In 2020, or just a few months ago, actually just earlier in November, I finished an alt MBA certification, which is expensive, but I think if you can do it, you should do it early in your career. It helps you look at things differently. And the key tactics that work for me are external and internal. I think it's important to acknowledge the role of luck in your career. There were many things, many people who contributed to my success that I've thanked on my blog, and there are many people who believed in me when I was not believing in myself, and I really want to thank them, and I have done that publicly. There was an element of luck. There was an element of support from my wife, who gave up her career so that I could focus on my job, and I could pursue my part-time MBA when we had two young children. My daughter was, I think, 4 years old. No, my daughter was 2 years old, and my son was just born in 2005. So he was just a year old when I started my master's. So it was a really harrowing time, and it wouldn't have been possible without her support. So many people contributed to my success. But if I look at things that I controlled internally, or things that were completely in my control, it was optimism. It was belief that things are going to get better for me. Things are not good for me now, but they will get better. I think that really helped me stay in action. So it allowed me to keep doing things without worrying about how I will fail or how this will lead to failure. I was far more optimistic. I had confidence and belief in my abilities to connect with people, to be closer to customers, to be able to communicate well. And I kept building on those abilities. I feel like I'm much, much better today than when I was in high school in communicating my ideas and helping people change their point of view. I think pursuing a master's outside India really opened a lot of doors for me. And it is, I mean, look at the contrast. I went from the worst engineering college, perhaps in India, if not the world, to one of the top 10 engineering colleges. And it's the same Anubhav, it's the same me. And I was able to get into uh, much better colleges. And I'll speak about this disparity in a few years. The IITs are just the best institutes we have, they're not the best institutes in the world. And there are many institutes that have a better risk to reward ratio. And I'll speak, I don't want to talk about that now, but I'll speak about that in an upcoming episode. A part-time MBA really helped me move from a project management role to a business focused role. And strong relationships, I cannot underscore the importance of having strong relationships within the company, so that you can get to different jobs within the same company. You can move from one level to the other, because more people want you to be successful, and people want you to be successful if you can help them be successful. So that had a huge positive impact on my career journey. So what can you do? So I would love for you to do two things at the end of this video. One is write down your career narrative today. Where are you? What have you done? How will you explain your career journey to somebody who doesn't know you? And then write down the next 10 years of your career. What are the credentials, the expertise, the connections that you need to be able to execute on this journey that you want for yourself? And once you do that, you will have a much clearer idea of the actions needed in the next few years to get you to success. And that's it. If you like this, share it with others. If not, tell me. I'm always interested in making things better. So I'll be looking for comments from you all, and it's easy to find me and reach me. I'm on LinkedIn and through techpmblog.com or through beyondiit.com. So thank you so much for your time.